Okay, well, it's really good to be here and to see you because last year I gave a presentation with Jackie Delong and Cathy Griffiths, Liz Campbell, and we're actually developing some of those ideas in this paper this year. And this is with Jackie, and it's about the self-study contributions to a history of STEP, and it was stimulated by Marilyn Hamilton this time last year, giving her history at the STEP business meeting. So what we've done is we've said, look, we've got a presentation which we think fulfills three purposes, and they're on the screen there. The first is to make our self-study contributions to a valid history of STEP, because since its founding in '93, I've certainly, over that kind of 21 years, really developed ideas in relation to my own self-study. And so it just felt timely to reflect and think, well, what are these contributions to a history of STEP? And I've worked collaboratively with Jackie Delong, first as supervisor and then as colleague of her doctorate. So that's the first thing, to try to make a contribution to the history. The second is to provide this evidence-based justification for the use of multimedia narratives with digital technologies in STEP research, to supplement the text-based media. Now, I've been in many presentations at AERA, and they're all text-based. The presenters simply use the screen, not as an electronic resource, which they can bring multimedia accounts into the room, but simply to put their PowerPoints up there and talk to the language. Now, if you're actually interested in education, our claim is that you, as I am now, you express energy. You can't do anything without the expression of energy. And I know Haftis brought a paper to the STEP earlier today, which talked about the fire, the Icelandic fire, as a metaphor. And this energy that I think we all have, the passion that we have for education, really does need different forms of communication. And that's why many of us are now beginning to use digital visual media to communicate this energy. And I just hope you can feel some of my own now, because if I just put a text on there, you just won't get the same kind of passion and energy that I think that I'm expressing through my body. But the video, and I've got this on at the moment, a video for Jackie, because she insists that I do what we actually said we'd do at this session, and this is my evidence for her that I'm doing it. So that's the second part of the presentation. Now, the third one I think you'll find most significant, because it's all about trying to create what we call new living standards of judgment for the academy. The idea that through STEP research, we can actually bring values with energy that have never before been legitimated in the academy. And so, for example, some of my PhD students, one of them, Eleanor Law, brought in her title, Love at Work, with the idea of love being right at the centre of what she was doing. And the external examiners, with the help of the video, understood what she was meaning by love at work. The other part you'll see on page 9 of the presentation, if you actually access it on the web, go down to page 9, I won't do it now, but it's actually two Canadian researchers talking about the African notion of Ubuntu. And some of you might have seen Nelson Mandela talking about this value of Ubuntu being the heart of his way of being. And this idea of I am because we are is absolutely central to what these Canadian researchers are talking about in terms of their research. That it's a very different understanding of relational dynamics than we've got in our Western culture. Most of you who understand an African notion of Ubuntu, and as I say, Mandela on YouTube, just Google Mandela on YouTube, and he has a superb analysis of Ubuntu as a relational quality of the I am because we are, which is very different, as I say, from our usual Western academic value. So our third point in this presentation is to bring some of these new standards of judgment into the academy. And last year, Liz Campbell and Cathy Griffiths surprised Jackie Delong. Jackie was supervising their masters, I'd supervised Jackie's doctorate, and they said to Jackie, look, Jackie, one of the values that we experienced with you was being loved into learning. Now, Jackie had never ever thought of her experience or her relationship in those terms. But the two master students, one primary and one secondary, convinced Jackie that this is what they were experiencing from her. This idea of being loved into learning as an embodied expression with energy and value that we've now put into the paper with video clips to show our meanings. And these multimedia narratives are what we're actually exploring in terms of the epistemological significance of S-step research. So that is what I'm hoping you will access by going to the web pages. And you, at the top of my website, actionresearch.net, if you click on the Educational Journal of Living Theories, you'll be able to access the current issue. And after our presentation this time last year, we were persuaded by one of the former main editors, Moira Laidlaw, to make the whole issue a development of our AERA presentation last year. And so we've got what apparently are 6 separate contributions, the one at the beginning all joint, one at the end joint, and then our separate ones, but they are all interconnected. And you can access that from the top of the actionresearch.net. Now, those can be engaged with. There's a space on that site for you to actually put your own comments and responses, so it's part of an ongoing dialogue. Are we okay? Are we finished? Finish. Right, and this is based on Nathan's insight 4 years ago that we weren't being clear enough, and in his discussant comments, we've included a video of Nathan in his discussant comment 4 years ago telling us that we needed to be clearer about our multimedia narratives. And that's what we've aimed to do. So many thanks indeed, Nathan, for that insight. Okay? Okay.